this war, how to prevent a nuclear war. I just want to remind you, we almost died past week because the current president's not thinking like that. And his hand-picked candidate, Kamala Harris, isn't thinking like that. Now, what if Donald Trump is thinking like that? You're still going to say, well, I don't want to vote for Trump. Okay, it's not election day. But wouldn't it be nice to have one side say, I'm looking to prevent a nuclear war, and have people say, this is a very important issue because we don't want to die. And suddenly Kamala Harris goes, whoa, 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 whoa. How'd this become an issue? How'd this become an issue? People are talking about something that we weren't even thinking. It wasn't on our radar. We're gonna have the most lethal military in the force, and we're gonna continue to stand up to Putin. Her support goes down. She realizes the American people are serious about not having a nuclear war with Russia. And so she turns around and says, we got to change our policy. We got to mirror this, because she's done that before. You've seen she takes Trump's policies because they're popular and she makes them her own. So what if Kamala Harris made stopping a nuclear war her own policy? But now she has to do things. She has to turn to Biden and say, hey, you got to support me on this. Maybe send Blinken to Moscow. Maybe talk about New START treaty and how we can keep that alive. Maybe tone down the stupidity about long-range strike capabilities for Ukraine. Maybe tell the Ukrainians that they lost the war and grow up and get the best possible. Do something, because this has become an issue that's going to play out on November 5th. And now we have two sides. And what if they get in a bidding war? Who's going to be the best to stop a nuclear war with Russia? And now they start going back and forth. And next thing you know, peace is broken out all over. It ain't a pretty path to it, but it's a hell of a lot better. I just want to again remind you, we almost died on Saturday. It's not a joke, people. It almost happened. If Biden had signed off on that piece of paper with Keir Starmer on Friday in the White House, as he was planning to do, the paper that Karmer brought over in his little red box, you saw the photograph of him coming off the airplane carrying his little red official diplomatic communications, His Majesty's communications. That box contained the death warrant for you. For you. So stop being stupid about this. There's only one issue that matters come election day. Scott, Israel matters. Not if you're dead. Scott, abortion matters. Not if you're dead. Scott, my Second Amendment right. Not if you're dead. None of it matters if you're dead. And if there's a war between the United States and Russia, you're going to die. Stopping this war is the number one priority, and has to be the number one priority of anybody who loves their country, loves their family, loves their kids, loves their dogs, loves going to the movie, loves enjoying life. Because if you had a good weekend, understand that you almost didn't. You were that close, one stroke of the pen, from making that the worst weekend in your life. For many of you, it would have been a very short life, because you would have died in a nuclear holocaust. For the rest of you, you'd have been praying that you died in a nuclear holocaust as you watch disease befall your family, the people that you love starve to death, die of disease, as you watch your communities fall apart into chaos and anarchy. You kill your neighbor to get the food in their refrigerator. You have to kill your dog and eat your dog because you're out of food, or because you don't want to see your dog suffer. You have to leave your home because you can't live anymore and start trudging through this nuclear wasteland. That's your future, ladies and gentlemen. That's your future. It's not a game. It's as real as it gets. So why don't you do something to stop it by maybe saying, hey, the ideas that are in that op-ed piece published in The Hill by RFK Jr. and Donald Trump Jr., we may not agree with those two people individually, but we agree with the concept of doing what's necessary to stop a war. It's not a surrender to Russia. Russia's not threatening to do anything other than make us listen to Rimsky-Korsakov music. Okay, that's what I had to do Friday night. I'm a rock and roll guy, but I went to listen because I wanted to send a signal that it's okay to listen to Russian music. It's okay to meet with the Russians. They're good people. It's okay to be humans with Russians. That's a future that we can all accept. It's not about Russia occupying us, dominating us, winning against us. They don't want that. They're not seeking that. They just want to live peacefully with us in an environment that says they appreciate who we are and we appreciate who they are. And there's no need for us to be killing one another. That's the world I want to live in.
Yeah. We've learned that we watched the interview that these two Russian pranksters did with Sikorsky. Did you watch it, Scott?
Did I watch what?
interview that these two Russian pranksters did with Sikorsky.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, I've watched all their interviews. I've actually been on their show, and I've interviewed them myself on my podcast. These are remarkable individuals. They claim to be pranksters. I'm telling you right now, the impact that they have on informing the public about the truth that these people don't want them to see, they're having a better impact than the Russian intelligence service, which leads me to believe that maybe they're actually secret Russian intelligence services agents, and because they're doing amazing things. It's called a prank, but a prank is sort of harmless. What did Sikorsky say? I mean, he acknowledged that Nord Stream 2 was attacked, probably by the United States. He said that at a minimum, we knew about it and we did nothing to stop it. I mean, this is a dangerous, dangerous man, Sikorsky. And he's saying things. Right now, you have people in the Polish government that are talking about prosecuting him for violating the secrecy acts, that he was saying things that were classified. He thought he was talking to Poroshenko, his fellow anti-Russian conspirator. He's talking to Russian pranksters, but they weren't pranksters. These guys were exposing the truth. We can laugh about it. They did the same thing to Mike Pompeo. They've done it to just about everybody. And we can laugh about how clever, but listen to what they're exposing, the truths they're exposing. And you realize that we're being lied to